So when you look at reminiscence, it impacts on a person's health. And that's quite hard to believe it because most of the stuff when we look at activities and also care, quite often is really aims at some sort of physical element, seems to be. Care definitely. So when you look at health, there is the physical element, whether or not you can stand up, you can mobilise, whether your joints ache, whether you can breathe, whether you've got a chronic condition, whether you've got a viral infection, whatever else, just and medications you're taking. But other elements of health are your mental health, which is about your mental ability to concentrate, focus, solve problems. Also, in some ways, direct and control mood, which is more of an expansion on what's going on. And that's really been happening over the last couple of years with respiratory work, which I'll probably do a video on in a little while, but it's basically breathing exercises, how you use them to control mood and energy levels. Then you've got emotional well-being, which is feelings and how you feel about your life, what's happened to you, your current state of affairs, where you are in your life, the interactions that you have with people, or a state of loss. And I'd say that most people in care environments have some sort of sense of loss, either of a partner, life as it was, or a home. And so loss is quite a common theme. Social well-being links back into loss again, really, but it's about your social groups and your peers and the people that you have there to support you. So that brings into an idea of something called social capital. And the more friends and family members that you have around you, generally the better your health outcomes are and the longevity of your life. And when you see what's happened socially now in most of the Western societies, care has become almost a secondary pursuit. It's done by people that generally are not directly related to the individual that they're caring for. It's been professionalised. And I've met some really good carers out there, and there are some exceptional people. But I do wonder if that element of family connection's been lost, and also the benefits that brings. The sort of fifth element is spiritual well-being, and it comes from a man that I don't even remember his name, but I remember him. And he was the chief executive of Liverpool Age Concern 10, 15 years ago. So if he's out there, you have my deepest respect. And I was up running a course and we were talking about elements of well-being. And he defines spiritual well-being as your internal state of bliss. It's whatever makes you happy. And that is probably the most profound, accurate definition I've ever heard. So I've also had arguments with people on courses about spiritual well-being not just being about faith and spiritual belief. It goes beyond that. And it can include faith and spiritual belief, but it might encompass family, hobbies, occupation. So it's a lot broader concept. Those 5 elements are enough for most care environments, but the model has also been expanded out a little bit further to include financial. And financial well-being isn't a reality for most people in care. It's not a worry, a concern. But if you work with anyone with dementia, even though they don't have to worry about paying the bills, they still do. And they'll ask, do they owe any money for this or whatever else? So that would be part of an activity coordinator's role, to supply a purse that had some money in it that never went anywhere but just went round in a circle. So that person would feel that they were the older person, not the activity coordinator, contributing in some way. Then you've got environmental wellbeing, which is linked into the built environment that the person is living in. And I've been in care homes. There's a couple owned by a very nice couple called Danny and Emma up in Leeds. They are exceptional environments. They really have thought of everything to do with someone with dementia and what they'd be looking for. So it's like stepping back in time when you go into their homes in a positive way, not in a negative way. And they've worked really hard to create that. So that is a positive environment for someone with dementia. The final one is occupational, and I think sometimes that links across to spiritual, because if you're truly following something that you find that touches you in a positive way, there's a real spiritual element to it. And a lot of people who are lucky enough to have an occupation, something they do because they love it, will say that is also very spiritual to them. So that's where I'm going to finish that little section off, and I'll do some more on the reminiscence stuff as we go through. Bye-bye.